Welcome to Homebuyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential.
So hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Homebuyer School. Today I'm joined by Mushtaba Sayed, Manager Mobile Mortgage Specialist with TD Canada Trust. And we have a really great episode today because we're talking about mortgage rates. Specifically, the question we're going to answer is, what are the new mortgage rules in Canada? So Mo, what are those new mortgage rules? But I've also heard that they've changed from the past. Can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So the changes actually came into effect last year for people who were putting less than 20% down. Someone who was actually going through a CMHC insurance or Genworth insurance, which we consider default insurance. So what was put in place was something called a stress test. And the reason why it was called a stress test is we want to see if interest rates ever did rise to a certain level, people could actually afford their payments. As of now, as of January 1st, 2018, that stress test now applies to everyone. So it doesn't matter if you're putting 20% down or less than 20% down, everyone has to kind of qualify with the new stress test or whatever the posted rate is plus 2. So if rates today, for example, are 3.34, it could be 5.34 or the posted rate, whichever is greater.
So are you saying that there was no stress test before these new rules came out?
Correct, yeah. So prior to this, there was no stress test. A lot of people could get away with just getting a 5-year fixed rate, and the Bank of Canada the bank and OSFI was okay with that, saying at least if you were fixed for a 5-year term, you were okay to qualifying at that 5-year rate. For example, we've heard some great rates that have been in the past, historically low rates. So if a rate was 2.59 for a 5-year, a lot of people at that time were qualifying at 2.59 for their mortgage. And then as soon as the stress test came up, it came almost to double qualifying. So it dropped a lot of people's purchasing power.
And I really want to have you explain that a little bit more in terms of maybe not so much the numbers specifically, but more so what exactly do home buyers have to understand now when the rules beforehand and going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So the rules going forward is that it is going to be a lot harder to qualify for that perfect home that you wanted. It could actually bring you down to a certain level because you do not have to qualify at the highest posted rate that the bank is that's their posted rate. If you can qualify for that, you can actually get any rate that you want, and it kind of determines your purchasing power, like what kind of house you can afford. If prior to the rules, if you could afford a house for, let's say, $450, that would considerably drop a lot less now. It could drop down to $400, depending on whatever your situation is. It could be a lot different today.
In your opinion, where do you think mortgage rates are headed? Like, do you see them continually rising?
Yeah, it's anyone's guess, but as what we've seen previously, mortgage rates are definitely on the rise right now. We've seen prime rate going up 3 times as of last year, and we've seen mortgage rates considerably go higher as well. The trend is definitely towards going upwards, for sure.
Do you have anything else you want to discuss in terms of the new mortgage rules or the stress test?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would actually just really recommend sitting down with your lender or mortgage specialist and just discussing where your qualification stands as of today with the new rules. Prior, you might have gotten a pre-approval previously, and if that's what the house you were shopping around for in that price range, that would have drastically changed as of today. So I would sit down, get a new financial picture of you guys' financial situation and put in place with an application. And then see if that changes with you guys' plans of purchase, of getting into a different type of home or different price range altogether.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Mo. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Remember, please watch our other videos on how to get mortgage pre-approvals and everything related to mortgage pre-approvals in the link above and at the end. And thank you very much for joining us.
That's another edition of Homebuyers School. Tune in next time for more expert tips and tricks. And visit homebuyerschool.ca to bring you one step closer to finding your dream home. As with everything, it would be great if you like and share our videos. Also, please let us know if you have any home buying questions you want us to answer.